What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 96 of the Game Moose podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Turford, alongside the ghost with the most, Drew McMillan.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm here.
Yeah. We're here. Yes.
Yeah.
And, of course, joining us for the very first time on the Game Moose podcast, the Queen of the Castle, Camille.
Aw, Queen of the Castle. I like that title. Thanks, guys, for having me.
That was the best I could come up with in, like, the 3.5 seconds I had to come up with a nickname for you.
That is so much better than what I would have come up with.
So, of course, Camille's filling in for Brock this week.
Yep.
Big shoes to fill.
Oh, it's very small shoes.
That's very mean.
Tiny feet. Everybody knows this about Brock.
Yeah. And you know what they say about tiny feet?
Yeah, small shoes.
Yeah.
So. Oh, boy. Well, Camille is already meeting her ding-dong reference quota on behalf of Brock, so well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
You're in my thoughts, Brock. You're in my thoughts.
You're officially one of us. Of course, this isn't the first time you've been on a Game Moose piece of content. You were very briefly featured on our Injustice 2 Reacts video.
Yes.
That we did back in May.
Yeah, back at the Injustice event at the that art gallery where we met world-famous video gamesman Ed Boon.
I know, that was amazing. And also, you know, I kind of have his signature, the case.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, framed in my room.
Yeah.
Mine's just up there with a copy of Mortal Kombat. They're like side by side. It's great.
Yeah,
it is great.
It's at a place of great esteem.
Especially because it's right next to Echo the Dolphin.
Yeah.
And it's Sonic CD on the other side.
Yeah, so, you got a good setup. But that was a really good event.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Cardinal Official was also there.
He was, yes.
Every time I mentioned to someone that I went to that event, they said, "Oh, you met Cardinal Official and not Ed Boon?"
It's like, do you know who Ed Boon is? Cardinal Official was happy to meet Ed Boon.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a big deal to us. Yeah.
So we got a packed show this week. So on today's show, we're going to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. There was a very fancy trailer this week.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about Cuphead a little bit. It's a video game with cups.
Yes.
Heads.
And Brock also has a little tattoo.
Oh,
he does. Yeah.
So along with Xbox Canada, Brock went out and got a Cuphead tattoo.
Yep.
That guy loves that game.
I know.
Like he was way into that game before he even played it.
Yeah.
But he's played it multiple times before it came out at various preview events. So he could say with some confidence, I think, that he was going to like it. And just having talked to him, he is all about that game.
We're gonna have a good conversation about it.
Yeah.
And of course, since Brock's not here, I do want to pimp the fact that number one over at BrockStarGaming.com, he has a very fancy review of Cuphead.
Yes, he
So
does.
go check that out. Also, again, Xbox All for One, he did a video with them this week all about how he got his Cuphead tattoo. So go check that out.
Yeah, and he might have cried.
Yeah. Might have a little bit.
Yeah, I'm totally making that up. I'm totally making that up.
All right. So this week, there was a Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer. As I mentioned last week, we didn't know what it was going to be. We didn't know if there was going to be a release date or even a trailer at all. They just said something was coming. So they basically showed a quick story trailer, basically outlining the fact that it is a prequel. Mm-hmm. You are part of Dutch's gang.
Yep.
Although you're not playing as John Marston, you're playing as Adam instead, who is also an evil cowboy person.
Yeah. Presumably has some kind of tragic end because he's not in Red Dead Redemption.
No.
Yeah.
He's the only person in the gang you don't hunt down.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was just hiding and then that setups for like Red Dead 3.
Oh. What?
Mind blown!
Yeah.
Or maybe there'll just be some weird epilogue at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not gonna lie. I got very excited when I saw that trailer. Like that. I mean, you know, Rockstar always does it right, and it looks like they're gonna knock this one out of the park. Like that was like cowboy as hell and awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Plus, he's like the money collector, so it's like you don't want to mess with him.
Yeah.
Just like when he's drinking the guy's soup. So I think this one's going to be really interesting to play this type of character.
Yeah, and also confirmed very good horses in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Their horse tech,
lasso them.
Their horse tech before was pretty on point, and now we got next gen horses from Rockstar, and they look pretty good.
Yeah.
Next gen.
Yeah, having next gen horses is definitely an important factor.
Obviously.
Yeah, you got to see those muscles ripple and the manes furl.
If you don't have good horses, then you might as well just throw away the game.
Yeah, like
what kind of cowboy game is it without good horses?
Yeah,
That's like 90% of the gameplay right there is riding a fucking horse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the game is still slated to come out spring 2018.
Yep.
Which is good because, I mean, a lot of us, especially Drew McMillan, was very scared this game was going to get delayed.
Yes.
I was afraid of that too. But no mention yet.
Yeah. But that's like Rockstar tradition, right? Like they give a date and then you don't hear from them for a long time, and then like 2 months before they delay it, and then you cry.
Well, we heard from them, so let's hopefully we hear from them again soon.
Yeah,
fingers
probably not till next year, but
Probably, New Year, January.
yeah,
January Rockstar.
They like to space out their stuff, so we'll probably hear about it more when there's an actual release date. Probably.
Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing, anyways, or a delay.
Red Dead was easily one of my favorite games the last generation. I love like cowboys. I love like the cowboy movie genre. So I'm really, really pumped for this. And then the game was just really fun to play. And the plot was so good.
And
good.
And that's the thing, the story, like Rockstar, whew.
Yeah, every time.
You know it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
I'm also interested to see what the online is for it, too, because Grand Theft Auto Online has just been such a runaway success.
Oh, yeah, that exploded.
That game just never stops selling copies either. It's an MPD every single month. It's ridiculous.
Plus, we're all going to love seeing all the cameos. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a lot of good cameos in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll run into John and
Yeah.
Dutch and everyone else in the gang.
Yeah. That's gonna be really fun, and like other like cool Easter eggs from the first game for sure. I just wonder if cougars are going to be as big a problem in this game as they were in the last one.
Oh my god!
How many times is my horse gonna get killed by a very sneaky
This
cougar?
is next gen horses, okay? Give them a little slack.
Hey, okay.
Next gen mountain lion.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Get hyped.
Yeah.
You'll have to actually maybe watch out for scorpions this time.
Yeah. You have to check your boots. There's a boot checking mechanic.
Yeah.
You have to shake your boots good enough before you put them on. Yeah.
That sounds awful.
The desert is a horrible place.
Yeah.
That's why we live in Canada.
Just Texas is a horrible place.
Yeah.
Horrible people.
I like to keep myself in scorpion-free zones for sure.
You need that cold temperature. That's why I embrace winter when it comes along. It kills everything that's disgusting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or that'll kill.
Sure, we have mosquitoes, but we have very few snakes, and we have like zero giant murderous insects.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No tarantulas.
No tarantulas.
No.
I think the only thing we have here is like black widows, and you really have to go up north to get those.
Yeah.
You really have to try hard
Yeah.
to see a black widow. Just to get bitten by a black widow, you got to work for that. So, yeah.
You gotta really want it.
You really, really want it. Like it's a bucket list. Yeah.
Well, the good news
I
is
just need
like
to know.
they can't even kill an adult. Like it's just really children, the elderly, and the the immune suppressed that have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So like if you if you're an infant, like stay away from black widows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let your baby play with black widows, I think is what we're learning here.
I feel like we're doing a really good thing for the Canadian Board of Tourism. Like, come to Canada. We don't have murderous insects.
I mean, it might be better than that Canada anime that they released recently. It was so good. Oh my god.
Canada anime. Why
Yeah,
have I not seen this?
They did this 30-second teaser thing, basically from the animator who did Your Name and some other stuff. I don't remember his name, but
it's Toronto.
Yeah, except it makes it look really cold all the time.
Yeah.
Like we live in the Arctic.
Well, that's what everyone believes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I can't believe how high the rent is on my igloo.
Yeah.
It's just astronomical.
And then in summer, it just melts away. Like,
yeah, you spend all that money on it and then it's gone.
No wonder why Ripley likes the igloo.
Absolutely, she does. Yeah, yeah. But then I just build a lean-to, get some leaves.
Yeah.
Just keep it insulated and you're good.
Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah.
So yeah, Red Dead 2.
So about
Video
that
game.
Red Dead 2.
Yeah. No, I mean, it seems awesome. One of the cool things they kept emphasizing about the footage that we saw too, which looks absolutely gorgeous, was that it was captured on PS4, not PS4 Pro or Xbox One X. So I can't even imagine what it's going to look like on the better consoles.
If there's one thing that Rockstar is really good at, it's like squeezing every drop out of a console. Like every game they've ever done looks phenomenal. They have a really good a combination of having like great technology and like really good style. Like they're really smart about matching that stuff up. So yeah, man, this looks good. I'm really excited.
It's going to be interesting because do you guys have 4K TVs?
No.
Yeah, right.
I'm getting one this year. That's happening.
Yeah. It is happening.
Yeah, you have a Pro and an S, so you need to take advantage of that power
At some point.
Yeah, but it will be interesting to see how it plays on those.
Yeah, especially with Xbox One X coming out next month. And
I know.
A lot of people are getting hyped about it.
Yeah.
I know. That thing is so small and tiny and cute, and then when you lift it, it's like the heaviest thing ever.
It's just
There's
a giant
so
block
much
of
power.
like steel and silicone.
It's like a brick. It's tiny, but it's
silicone.
heavy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Small but mighty. That's Xbox One X's catchphrase there.
Small and mighty.
Small and mighty.
Small and mighty.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Ryan's like, okay, stay on track.
Yeah. No, that's not going to happen.
That is kind of my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. 96 episodes in, people know. This is just my thing. All right, so second topic this week, kind of a sad topic actually. So the Wii Virtual Console and eShop is closing. I can't believe this. So I'll just read the story and then we'll talk about this. So Nintendo has announced the Wii shopping channel, aka the Wii eShop, will be shut down on January 31st, 2019. That's like 2 years, a year and a half away.
That's a ways away.
At 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you'll no longer be able to add Wii points to your account. Anyone remember Wii points?
Yes, unfortunately. That was back when all consoles had some kind of point currency system.
Yeah, the Xbox Live points.
Those were the worst. Yeah.
All right, so the last time you can add those to your account is March 26, 2018. So you really, unless you have a stockpile of Wii points, you can't buy anything new after that date, basically.
Is this going to be like a forgotten currency? Like, is it going to be like a year from that point? Wii points are going to be worth like crazy amounts of money.
I know, we're going to be seeing them up on Amazon.
like lost coins.
Well,
or something
they do
like
have
that.
those points cards.
Yeah,
from
that is
like the
true.
Wii U days that are just sitting around.
Do you think like little mom and pop shops still have those? Like that's probably some hot currency. You gotta get in on that.
There's some bodega somewhere in Toronto that still has them on like one of those like racks with like the cards for like Neopets and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Hey, don't knock the Neopets.
Don't forget about World of Warcraft 60-day subscription cards as well.
Yeah.
You can't forget about those.
Those are real.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, this one.
So have they said what's going to happen with your... This doesn't affect current purchases. You just can't make new ones after this point, right?
Right, but they did mention you will not be able to re-download titles after a certain date that they haven't announced.
That is a bummer and a half.
It is, because I've had experience... Like, that was, I think, my favorite part of the Wii.
Yeah.
Is the Wii Virtual Console. And I had an issue where my Wii broke, and the only reason I kept it is because all my Virtual Console titles were on there, and I would be able to play.
It was so hard to transfer all that to another system.
Exactly.
Did you have to, like, send it away? Did you have to send it to Nintendo and pay them $40 to transfer it to the console?
There was eventually an update where you could do a system.
Could do it, yeah. But then pretty much even with that, you needed like, a scientist to help you out.
You also needed an entire day because of the transfer speeds.
Yeah. Oh, it was so slow, slow.
I remember
algebra.
I remember transferring all my Wii Virtual Console games to my Wii U, and that took ages.
Well, and the thing is, there's a lot of games. I think it's like something like 220 something games.
I'm glad you brought that up because there are actually lots of games on the Wii Virtual Console that never came to the Wii U or just has never really been re-released in any way. For example, Sega Genesis games were only, like, that was the only time they've been re-released outside of a collection.
Yeah. Which
is kind of cool. In fact, Game Explain actually did a video yesterday detailing all 146 games that are on the Wii shop, like just the Virtual Console section, that haven't been re-released at all.
Or mentioned.
In any way.
Like, now we really need to know what the heck is happening with the Switch and the Virtual Console, because if they're going to do it where, March is going to come along, you won't be able to purchase anything, and then bam, April, Virtual Console comes out with all of those games you just downloaded.
Yeah.
And they're cheaper.
Yeah, but what makes you think that's ever going to happen? No, I just,
Guys, let me set your mind at ease. You can buy Mario Brothers for $10 on the Nintendo Switch right now.
That is true.
That is true.
But it is
not Super Mario Brothers, Mario Brothers.
But I'm a fan of Kirby's Avalanche, and that is one of the games that will not be anywhere.
Yeah, it'll never come out again, basically.
Well, maybe not never, but maybe they'll mention it after the point, like they did the NES, that it was going to be in production.
I mean, it's like Mother 3. It's just eventually maybe it'll come out, but we'll see.
Well, it's like with the NES Classic last year. So many people overpaid for that, and then they're like, "Oh, psych, we are re-releasing it." So
especially after they had told them, "Oh yeah, by the way, you'll never be able to get this again."
Never again, right? So it's going to be interesting. I hope they announce something before March comes up, so at least people kind of have an idea of what to do.
Part of this announcement makes me think of the Miiverse announcement from not too long ago, where they also announced Miiverse is closing down, where I think that this is sort of paving the way for them to start the new services on Switch, whatever that's going to be. Because we do know that Virtual Console games are coming with the online service.
Yeah, there's
whenever that launches.
For the month, you get a game, and then you can pay to keep it if you want.
Yeah.
But
that's very different than what Virtual Console was.
Yeah. Right, because Virtual Console was you bought the game and you own it.
You own it.
Yeah.
You own it, right? And you didn't have to worry about going away in 30 days. Yeah. Although that kind of follows, like a paid subscription plan. I guess that's what they're kind of going for.
They're just trying to emulate Sega Channel.
This is meant to be like their incentive. So this is really interesting because this is what this is the kind of stuff that proponents of emulators and like digital archive people always bring up is like, we live in an era now that everything's digital, that it's a distinct possibility that like games can go extinct in a sense, right?
Yep.
You can have a game that was only released digitally. I mean, these Nintendo games, you know, that we're talking about that are on the Virtual Console, they're on cartridges. There's still a possibility you could go out there, but those aren't going to last forever too, right?
Yeah.
You know, like the archivists are saying at some point those cartridges are just going to stop working after a while. Yeah. But, you know, that brings up an interesting point, and that is, you know, we potentially live in an era where, like, I know that I have a ton of digital-only purchases on my Xbox 360, my Xbox, my PlayStation 3, my PlayStation 4. What happens when they say that game is gone? Like, a great example of that is the PT. I know it wasn't, like, a hot game that people paid money for, but, like, that game essentially... Like, people spend premium money to buy a PS4 that has a PT installed on it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and there's no other way to get it back, and that there's all these guys who are working in like these gray areas or what Nintendo would consider illegal, but they're just trying to keep stuff alive that otherwise would just disappear.
That's also the same way with licensed games too, especially because the license always runs out and you can't buy it after a certain date.
Yeah,
like Scott Pilgrim, for example, was a game that
music licenses are a big part of that.
God, yeah.
Well, that's like, you know, people are talking about the N64, but the licensing for GoldenEye is no longer, right? So would that be on that if they were going to do the N64 mini?
Then they have to go back and give Warner Brothers or MGM or whoever has
and would they do that for, you know, this little...
Yeah. And they might, because we did see that support with the GoldenEye remake on Wii. But even then, like, I don't know what kind of crazy licensing nightmare that was.
What kind of deal they had to make. Especially, like, because there was a period of time there where the James Bond franchise had kind of fallen off, right?
Yeah.
And then they reinvented it with, like, Daniel Craig, and it's gotten really popular again. So it might be at a premium again. So who knows what's going to happen here.
I know. It's interesting because I feel like what you would want to do as, you know, offering these games, you would want them to be showcased of, like, your history.
Yeah.
You know, in the industry and people that enjoyed that. So pretty much what's probably going to happen is when we're old in our rockers, they're going to re-release everything.
Everything.
And they know we'll pay.
And they know we will pay.
Yeah. They're like, oh,
you want Friday the 13th on NES again. It's happening.
It's happening for $1,000 and you get all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be like cashing in my government pension.
You'll be like, I need that new Nintendo release.
I need to get the Switch Virtual Console, the Switch Classic Mini. I'll give you any money.
And you know what? It's crazy because it's like, where does it stop? Where does it stop?
Yeah.
The answer is it never stops.
Yeah.
we
live in a brave new digital future, and it's scary.
Yeah.
The main thing is, what's kind of cool though, I just looking back at the Wii, this is just sort of made me remember about all the things I liked about the Wii, is that even though it had a lot of shovelware on it, and the first party selection wasn't as robust as something as the Switch is now, or even the GameCube before it. Like the Wii, the Virtual Console was such an integral part of that console, or even the eShop, because the eShop had some great games like Final Fantasy IV: The After Years, Blaster Master, Mega Man 9, stuff like that. So it's just kind of sad to see that kind of thing.
It's the end of an era.
Yeah, although again, that was also like 13 years ago. The system came out in 2006.
I know.
Which is crazy to think of.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We live in a really exciting time for like just gaming and technology.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just so rapidly evolving.
Yeah, like things are changing so fast. Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you don't, like, as a gamer, if you don't keep up with the latest title, you probably won't play it again because there's going to be something else. That
Something new and shiny is always right in the corner.
I mean, just that copy of Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition is just going to sit on my PS4.
Worst
maybe
title
one
game
day.
of all time.
Maybe one day I'll play it.
One day.
I mean, it was part of Humble Bundle.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. You did some good by buying it, so all right.
I mean, I'm just trying to support charity. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Speaking of charity, segue.
Yes.
We
Love
should
that segue.
talk about Extra Life before we move on to our next topic.
Yes, we should.
So Extra Life is happening.
Yep.
It's official. So Drew, Brock, and I will be doing a 24-hour live stream, as we mentioned before, in order to raise money for Sick Kids, which is a children's charity here in Southern Ontario, basically helping children's hospitals here.
Yeah.
Great cause. So we're going to be doing that on November 4th, it looks like.
Yes. Yeah.
At noon until noon the next day.
Yeah.
That's
November
really
5th.
good, guys.
24 hours of nonstop nonsense. We have some goals. Some of them which include me playing World of Warcraft.
That is one of the goals. One of the other goals is me playing Altered Beast because it's my least favorite game ever.
Yes, yeah. So it's for
What?
Yeah, we talked about this before.
Hold on, wait, what?
Yeah, he's
Now,
sick in the head.
all right, the
Yeah.
real
Hold
question.
on, whoa.
Is it-
Sorry to interrupt, like,
It's
the
fine.
good thing you guys are doing. That's awesome, but hold on, wait, what?
Yeah, Ryan is a deeply disturbed man.
Let me ask you this. Have you played Altered Beast in the last couple of years?
Yes, I have.
Yeah,
And you actually
because
like
it's a
Altered
good game, Ryan.
I still love it.
Yeah.
See, that's okay. We can agree to disagree.
No, we can't. You gotta agree. You gotta agree.
I
You
have
gotta-
to agree?
yeah,
Is that...
Ryan.
Oh, jeez.
No,
Yeah.
no, it is a solid beat 'em up in which you turn
See,
into
what-
Animal Mans.
I will give it
It's
an...
so good.
Because I just played it like 6 months ago, and it's still terrible.
Oh
You
my
turn into
gosh.
Rise from your grave.
You turn into
Yeah.
a dragon monster and shoot electricity. Like, what is wrong with
That
you?
is so good, and it was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've played Back to the Future on NES since then, and let me tell you what, Altered Beast is still a worse game.
I think it's one of like 3 games.
I don't
that has
know.
a
Can we
weird
switch
bear.
spots? Can we can you go over to where
I-
Drew is? I don't know if we
Yeah,
can talk
this isn't
anymore.
okay.
I feel like you're going to kick me off my own show.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah.
No,
I've been saying this for years. I'm just glad that there's another sane
Yeah.
voice in the room.
No,
Thank
I
you.
love Altered Beast.
No, and I always welcome opinions that are different than mine. So if you guys like Altered
That's
Beast,
just a nice.
cool.
That's just a nice way of saying opinions that
No,
don't matter.
we can, no, we can still be friends. It's okay.
Okay, fine. We'll
right.
be friends,
Yeah.
but we'll talk about this after.
But don't worry,
God.
we're going to raise enough money and Ryan will be playing Altered Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the coup de grace, of course. If we raise enough money, Brock will play Bubsy.
Yes.
That's the main thing because
Yeah.
he hates Bubsy.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind, or what are we talking about?
Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah.
We could play Bubsy too because I also have it on the shelf, but I don't know if he'll want to do that.
Ryan.
Bubsy 2, surprisingly, is a better game.
No.
But it's not Brock's choice.
I never said it was good. I said
Yeah,
it's better than Bubsy 1.
We have to pick the most painful one.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah.
think Close Encounters of the Third Kind is
We just don't have
definitely-
Bubsy 3D
Yeah.
in-house.
Yeah.
I could probably track it down.
Yeah.
Because there's enough retro game stores in Toronto where I could probably do that.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah.
Torture Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. He deserves it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So-
he deserves it.
To get
We all know
hyped
this.
for those shenanigans, we'll be putting up a link on the website soon.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it
Yeah.
next week as to where you guys can go donate, and
Yep.
as well as I'll be posting a full schedule at the same time,
Yeah.
so you guys can see what we're playing.
Yes.
I look forward to supporting you guys.
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna play a wide variety of games. We're gonna play modern games, retro games, all kinds of stuff. And just have a good time, hang out, and
The dream is that
Yeah.
we bust out the multi-tap and play Turtles in Time.
that would be awesome. I love that game. I love that game
It's
so
so
much.
good.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is my third year doing Extra Life, and I'm just so happy I get to do it with you.
Is
guys.
this your first time doing it?
This is my first time. I have supported. So, fun fact: the children's hospital charities are very, very close to my heart. I spent a lot of time in a children's hospital when I was really, really young, and at the time there was not a huge emphasis on making it a pleasant experience for kids. I'm so happy to see that that's what they're doing now. It's absolutely heartbreaking to see what some of these kids have to go through, and any little thing we can do to make that easier on them, so that on their families, so that the kids can actually have fun and be kids, even if they're stuck in a hospital. Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
And again, I'm in the same position where I also was in children's hospitals quite a bit. I mean, I was in a coma for a year when I was a kid. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I like anytime we have an opportunity to do stuff for sick kids, I always try to help out. So,
Yep. So we get to do something we love, which is play video games, entertain you guys, and raise money for a good cause.
Hopefully
It's
the
a
stream
win,
won't
win,
break
win.
this
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
hopefully I won't almost fall asleep playing Shining Force again this year.
Well,
No promises, though.
It's possible.
Well,
Yeah.
even if you fall asleep, you have two guys to kind of pick up the slack.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about doing it this year, because
Yeah.
last 2 years it's just been
Yeah,
me.
Ryan
Yeah.
Just
flying
staying up
solo.
for 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
at least you guys could tag team a bit.
Yeah. Tag team is right.
We'll also probably be doing a podcast as well, so stay tuned for all the details. After all,
Yeah.
we're coming close to episode 100, Drew.
We are
It's
almost
happening.
at episode 100.
I
Yeah.
think it might even happen that weekend.
I think
I
it
can't believe
may
it's been
coincide.
that long.
Yeah,
No.
it's 2.5 years,
Yeah.
almost 3.
crazy.
100 episodes. Yeah, we're getting there for
Wow.
sure. Yeah.
Crazy.
I know, we're such an old podcast.
Yeah. Most people don't make it past episode 40. We established this way back in episode 40. So
That's true.
yeah, we got the stick
Huge
to it.
accomplishments.
That's
Yeah.
the mark of quote-unquote quality.
I don't know if it's a mark of
Became-
I don't know if it's mark of quality, but it's definitely a mark of
So then
like,
when you guys
something.
made it past episode 40 and then 41, the quality just went way down.
Yeah.
Because you guys
Oh,
were like,
we
oh, we
really-
already made it.
We can just
All
phone
right.
it in now.
Yeah, let's phone it in.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think I literally phoned it in for an episode.
Actually, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about what we've been playing. So before we talk about a certain game, Drew, what have you been playing this week?
Well,
Now that, of course, you've got something on the table that's brand new.
Yes, I do. I brought it with me. This is my new baby. I did it. I've been talking about it for like a good 6 months. I bought a Switch.
It's about time.
One of us.
Yeah. So I made it happen. Best video game console purchase in a long time. It is awesome. I have not used it on my TV at all because I've been just on the go so much this week. I did the fun thing where I worked 9 days in a row and then I had 2 days off and then now I'm working another 7 days in a row.
That's how we do.
And I've been commuting a lot and out of the house, so it was great to have with me. I've been playing Breath of the Wild, which I've been wanting to play
Thank
for so
God.
long.
I can finally talk about this.
Well, like I told you this before, like I would have feel remiss of going into Game of the Year discussions without having played that game because everybody was saying like, "Oh, this is easily Game of the Year." Though to be fair, we're now down the road. There have been some really great games since then.
Plenty of contenders now.
Yeah, if Brock were here, he'd be shouting Cuphead repeatedly. But yeah, so far I've probably put about maybe about 15 hours into it, just noodling around with it, and I love it. Played some Octopath Traveler as well, which is kind of a fun little demo that's out there.
Yeah.
Played some Puyo Puyo Tetris, and it's a solid little console, and man, Breath of the Wild is really good. It has those moments,
He had to take a breath to say that when he's like,
it's like Breath of the Wild.
I famously hate 3D Zelda games. The only one I really like is Wind Waker.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like Ocarina. I don't like Twilight Princess.
What?
Yeah,
we've talked about this on the show a few times.
Okay, what is your issue with Ocarina?
I felt like it was a step down from A Link to the Past, which is easily one of my favorite games of all time. Yeah, but to be fair, I acknowledge that A Link to the Past came along at like a particular time where it's like in like that nostalgia zone in my brain.
Yeah.
So I acknowledge that there's probably a big part of that that's distorting it for me. But yeah, so
Twilight Princess, no.
No, I did not like Twilight Princess at all. But I really, 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 really love this game. I really loved Wind Waker, and this one is like it feels like it hits all the things that people want. It has a lot of great style, like visually. The open world gameplay is amazing. It has a good mix of that like sort of like cartoony and grown up feel to it.
Yeah.
Like Link doesn't feel like he's 100% a kid like he does in Wind Waker, but he doesn't feel too gritty like he does in Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
It's not edgelord Link. But what really shines is the gameplay. Like the systems are amazing. Like how they use physics, how like the different gameplay elements interact with one another. Simple things like being able to like I've already baited some bees over to some like goblins and then like had the bees attack.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, like the fact that you can do that and you're just like, whoa, this is crazy.
Drew, trust me, this is going to change how you think of games going forward.
Totally. Yeah, it's just one of those things where like it's it's greater than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
You really get that feeling, and you get that feeling very early on. When you realize that like something amazing happens and you're like, that was all procedural. That was in no way meant to happen. It just happened.
I mean, Drew, you haven't lived until you've thrown a metal sword at a bokoblin in a lightning storm and then had to electrocute the bokoblin.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, it definitely changes how you look at games going forward. And that's why I was getting so upset when this game came out. People were like, oh, it's a really great Zelda game. I'm like, no, it's a really great game.
Yeah.
It's just a really great game.
No, that's something that like Brock and I both raved about is that it really changes the way you think about how you interact with everything, because you think about it interacting with things in that game just like real life.
Yeah.
Like, if I go out in a lightning storm carrying something metal, I'm gonna get electrocuted. That's how lightning works.
Don't run around in a lightning storm with a sword over your head.
Or even like how you can use like different metal pieces even to conduct electricity.
Exactly, in different ways. Yeah.
Yeah. Like one of the simple examples of that was like I unlocked the bomb for the first time early in the game, and I'm like, this is dumb. Why is there a square bomb and a round bomb? And then it took me like 5 seconds to go, they roll downhill and these ones don't. Just There's obviously they put so much thought and so much care into that game, and I'm really loving it, having a great time.
I really just hope we see another Zelda game come to the Switch. Like,
Me too. I mean, obviously it takes a lot of time for them to find the formula that's right. Like, this is a game they've managed to reinvent like how many times, and it still feels sort of thematically consistent, and the gameplay every time manages to just blow people away, even if I bitch and moan about how I don't like Ocarina of Time or whatever. But yeah.
Well, not only that, but this was such a different experience for Nintendo, and I think that going forward, it will be easier for them to do another one, and like it won't take as long because they've gone over that hurdle of doing the first Zelda game that's like this.
I know. I'm just looking over to your Link amiibos. And
they're over in the corner.
And I'm just like, I just want to shed a tear. I'm like, so beautiful.
I gotta tap some amiibos while I'm here.
I know you gotta get.
I have not tapped an amiibo.
You never tapped that. No.
I'm straight up an amiibo virgin, and I'm looking forward to getting that over with. I know it's gonna be awkward and weird the first time, but I'm okay with that.
I mean, you just need to know.
Yeah, you just gotta do it sometimes.
Yeah. You just gotta dive in.
Yeah. So you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have a glass of wine after the podcast and just sit down with some of these amiibos and just work it out.
Yeah.
Just tap.
Yeah.
That's great. Cool. So that's what you've been playing.
That's what I've
you've also been playing Destiny a little bit, right?
Of course, yeah, that's a given.
The real question is, did you join a faction this week?
I did. I joined Dead Orbit.
High five.
Yeah, Space Goths for the win.
That's right.
When's it? I don't even know. I'm so detached from what's going on because I've been playing so much Zelda. Did it end? Did we win?
No, it's not. To be fair, it sounds like we're actually going to lose because Future Warhol is like the main clan people want.
To be fair, Future Warhol has the best gun. I think that's why a lot of people picked it. Yeah, and New Monarchy has a sidearm, so nobody picked it. Yeah.
But New Monarchy has the coolest arm.
They do. Yeah.
I've been completely out of Destiny 2.
That's
I've been in my own.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, I played Destiny, and then I was like, I really want to hop into Destiny 2, but it just takes up so much time.
It does.
That's
it is a big time thing. So like I'm raiding this afternoon. I have a raid date with the Narcats.
You've been talking about it from earlier today.
Yeah. That's right. I'm very excited.
Although Brock's not here to be part of it because he's also a new member of Narcats.
He is a solid contributing member to our clan. Yeah, but
is he really a contributing member?
No, he's not really. He just falls asleep while he plays Destiny.
There is video evidence of this.
Yeah. I once joined Brock. He'd been bothering me to like play with him all night, and I was like, we were finishing something up with another fire team. So then I joined him later on. And I was like, hey, how come he's not responding to me? And then I walked over to him, and his character was just walking into a wall nonstop. And I was like, Brock, did you fall asleep while playing Destiny last night? And he was like, yeah. So that happens. Yeah.
It's so good.
He's such he's an individual.
Yeah, he's an interesting human.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
So, Camille, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Cuphead.
Nice.
And a lot of the, SNES Classic.
Nice. So, what do you think about Cuphead so far? Because we got to talk about this.
Yeah, you were the only one who's played Cuphead.
Actually, I've been playing Cuphead.
Oh, never mind. Brian played Cuphead.
That's what we got to talk about.
Sit out of this one, Drew.
All right.
I'm kidding.
Drew likes platforming games. Maybe he'll want to know
I do.
Cuphead.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited about Cuphead.
Yeah, Cuphead is really good. Firstly, I'm a huge fan of Popeye the Sailor.
Okay.
And Betty Boo and Felix the Cat. I used to watch it on VHS like nonstop. So seeing the art style for the first time, I was like, oh, this game is so cool. But then when they paired it with this platformer that's like ridiculously hard, like playing this game.
Are you playing on normal or easy?
I'm playing on normal.
Okay, I know Brock played it on easy. But.
Of course he did.
Well, you want to get through it.
But no, it is ridiculously hard. Like, you're going through this and you're like, oh, this is cute. And then you last like maybe 20 seconds and then you die. And then you realize like you're going through this love-hate relationship with the game where it's just a never-ending battle of whether you're trying to figure out if you really love this game or you really, really hate it. But in the end, you come out with laughs.
Just like Dark Souls.
Yeah,
exactly how I feel about Dark Souls.
This sounds like my experience with Dark Souls. Like point for point.
Well, I can tell you as someone who also had the same feeling about Dark Souls and who has played Cuphead, I can tell you I feel the same way about Cuphead as I do Dark Souls.
Yeah. Like I think this is the game I've sworn so much in, like in a very long time, but also just laughed really hard because it just gets to the point where you start getting delirious because you've died. Like I think when I went to the second aisle, it has a fountain where you could find out how many times you died, and I died like 144 times.
Holy jeez.
Yeah, and I was like, are you kidding me? Because then you're just like, no, I don't want to play this game anymore. And then you just like walk through.
The worst part is it only gets harder from there.
I know, it only gets harder and harder, but it's not impossible.
No.
Like when you collect those items, it definitely helps out, and you have to think of a different strategy.
Also learning the boss's patterns too.
Oh, yeah.
That's really key. Again, I'm going to bring up MMOs, Drew. I'm sorry that I have to do this. But it is like fighting MMO bosses, because the main thing I like about MMOs, or even raiding in Destiny, is the key example, is learning the boss's mechanics and adapting to them, which is exactly what you do in Cuphead.
Well, that's why I like Mega Man, right? Like
Yeah.
Mega Man is very much the same thing, like learning their patterns, learning their telegraphs, all that kind of stuff. And it just from like the Let's Plays I've seen of people playing it, like all the stuff I love about platforming games, it has. Now, so help me out here. I mean, this game had the reputation initially of being it was just going to be boss battles essentially, but that is not the case. They've added a bunch of different levels that are in fact not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost all boss levels. There are like 5 or 6 run and gun, quote unquote run and gun.
Right.
Yeah. But then, it really feels like just a lot of boss battles. But but it's good. Like I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that. To be fair, that was like the philosophy behind Shadow of Colossus, right?
Yeah.
So like they said, what's the best part about games is the boss battles. Let's just make a game that's just all about boss battles, and that's okay. If it's fun and compelling, then why not? So
Yeah.
And there's just so much detail. Like this game just makes me laugh because like they have the little jelly bean with a little sword like just running after you. Like they put so much personality into everything in the game.
Oh my god, that candy house is just it's so good. That's such a good boss.
That is I spent so much time on that boss. It is ridiculous.
The best part is it even has like 5 different variations, and and it just randomizes them every time too.
Well, and that's the thing. I feel like Cuphead, you can learn the patterns, but there are those variations. And if you mess up like just one jump in that pattern, it's over.
Yeah.
You basically have to start over.
So I mean, what I can say definitively about this game, just from having having watched some Let's Plays and stuff like that, having not put my hands on it. I mean, this game is one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen, because they took a style, and they just committed to it. They went for that, those like Camille said, those vintage cartoons.
Yeah. And
it looks like picture perfect. Like this Cuphead could be a character from like the 1930s.
I would watch it.
Yeah, I could see Cuphead like beating up Steamboat Willie. Like it just it makes sense.
And the other thing that really sells it is the music.
Yeah.
It's done by this like 16-piece orchestra, and it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It is like, no, I don't think this game is getting overhyped. Like, I honestly think this is a good contender for a game of the year.
Yeah.
The other thing I like about it is it seems to capture like the weird edge of cartoons from that era. Like there was a time where like when they were playing with cartoons, as a genre, as it was evolving, like it wasn't a time where like definitively like it is in our minds now, where it's just like a lot of adults especially think of like cartoons are for kids, right?
It's
of course,
PG, very PG.
We've grown up with anime and stuff like that, and so we know now that of course that's not the case. But like there was a period of time for basic, like when Disney was king, from like the 80s until like the mid 90s, where like no, cartoons were for kids, period. But like back in like the 30s and the 40s, like cartoons had this like adult edge to them, and it does that without being like gross about it,
like just being in your face. It's just very subtle.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Shrek. You know how Shrek throws like adult jokes in there? Yeah, but it's more in terms of the visuals, like just how they perceive these characters. And that's why I loved those cartoons. Like even as a kid, like I just loved the fact that I felt like I wasn't just a kid watching like little kid cartoons. I was watching like these really hilarious slapstick comedy stories like play out in front of me.
And it's like evocative of some of those things without being overt about it. Like they don't have to put pinups in this to sort of like I don't know how to put my finger on it, but like I look at it, I'm like, this is this is a serious game for adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead you'll see like what you were just mentioning, like with those cartoons, they wouldn't put like a pinup of a girl, but you will see the character like open something and their eyes like bulge out.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So they imply, right? It's a
Yeah.
lot of implying with those things.
Which is awesome, because then, you know, it suits a bunch of different audiences too, which is fun. Yeah.
Exactly.
And like when you're too on the nose with it, you know, like your imagination can fill in the blanks a little bit better than anything else. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the one thing I have to commend this game for as well is just the fact that the platforming the responsive controls they totally nailed, because one of the things from playing a lot of indie platformers that I always have to usually ding them on is how precise the platforming is, because when you go back and play something like Mega Man or Castlevania, what makes those games so great, or even the original Mario games, is that the platforming is super tight, it's very responsive, and usually if you die, it's because you fucked up.
Yeah.
And not because the controls failed you in any way.
I was playing Contra last night and I was like, oh god.
Contra 3,
I was like, oh gosh, yep, this is very, very responsive. And you get that from Cuphead. Like it's very much like you cannot blame the game for you dying.
Yeah,
like,
it's
it is
usually 'cause
all
you did
on
something
you.
dumb.
It is all on you.
Those are the most frustrating games, right?
Yeah.
The games that are hard, but the games that are hard but fair, you know? Because then, totally, you have to do some soul searching when you die in those games.
Yeah, because when I kept dying, I didn't feel frustrated. I felt
more determined.
I felt the determination to actually keep going back and doing it.
And when you beat it, you're like, oh yes, like
it's such a good feeling.
It is the best feeling ever.
Yeah,
it's so good. It really trains your mind to, I think, fall in love with the fact that there are no checkpoints. Like you have no checkpoints.
Yeah.
Right.
And no health pickups either.
No health pickups, and you accomplish something when you came out of like every level.
Yeah.
And it's only, I think the levels are like max 2 minutes.
Yeah, they go by really fast. It's just
it just
learning
seems
them,
like forever when you're in the game.
Guys, am I
so
going to have an
focused.
existential crisis playing this game? Is that what's going to happen? Am I going to play it and you be like, wait, was I ever good at video games?
Okay, so I had that moment like for the first few levels where I was like, wait, am I just getting too old for video games? Like my response time is like very slow, but no, you just train yourself back into it. Yeah.
Just get back in.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's like the good old days. I remember like playing Mega Man 1 and getting stuck on a boss and being like, no, I got to sleep on this, going to sleep and then coming back the next day and like, it's like the pattern just like all of a sudden it just forms in your mind and you hit this zen state and you're just like, I got this.
You're like, I got it.
I'm so excited to have that moment with Cuphead.
And that'll come back to you because, I mean, again, I play 2D platformers all the time. Like that's one of my favorite genres. So, I mean, I'm just used to this type of combat, this type of platforming and stuff. But even then, like, I still die a lot.
Yeah.
It's still like, even if you're really good at those games, it is because it's very much supposed to be about trial and error. You're supposed to die a lot. That is the main goal of this game, is to have you die a lot.
Have you played the game co-op?
I have not.
Oh.
Not yet.
So co-op is a different experience.
It is a completely different experience.
I was watching like there's a very fun Polygon Let's Play. That's where I saw most of the gameplay with Russ and I've already forgotten her name, playing it together. And one of the things is if Mugman or Cuphead dies, you jump up and you hit the
parry
button,
yeah.
and then you bring them back.
Yeah.
Right? So there's always like that like give and take of, is it worth bringing my partner back? Or are they in like an impossible place?
Then you find out your
cool
real friends at that point.
Totally.
You're like, oh, you didn't bring me back?
Well,
okay.
especially when you play Contra co-op or something like that.
Where you can steal
it's-
lives?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God. Or Battletoads.
Yeah.
Where if one person loses all your lives, it's
just over. Well, and that's the thing. Like, then you start getting really nice to your friends. You're like, just go without me, because you just are so determined to pass that stage.
Yeah.
But it's more complicated when you're playing co-op because there's a lot going on in the screen. So it's very confusing at sometimes.
Yeah, I've heard some people saying like they have at times lost track of, are they Cuphead or Mugman? And we're like, oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong character.
When I first heard that this game had co-op, I personally thought it would be harder with co-op.
Yeah, it is
like
harder.
it'd somehow be worse.
Yeah.
Well, I play platformers as well, so I don't know about you, but when I'm playing a platformer, I usually look ahead and I use my peripheral to look at my character.
Right.
Yeah, you can't do that when you're playing co-op because both characters look so similar and there's so much stuff like flying around on the screen that you'll lose track of which character you are.
Especially if you're like right on top of each other. Too.
Exactly.
So the major difference between Cuphead and Mugman is just the red and blue coloring, right?
And Mughead has a bigger nose.
Yeah.
His mug's a bit different because it's a mug and not a cup.
Not a cup.
Yeah.
But it's not like it's not
like
huge.
drastically where no.
It's not like I don't know.
Like Oswald and Mickey.
Yeah. Like Oswald and Mickey. Wait. They're pretty similar.
I
They're
don't know,
pretty
man.
similar. They
Yeah,
are.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to speak your language.
Or like-
okay? We talked about Epic Mickey the other day.
Well, it's not like actually. Come to think about it, Mario and Luigi are very similar. Like
Yeah.
But one's taller, so it kind of
I'm
makes.
just trying to think like what
difference?
like
And you bounce on
2x2
top of each other.
co-op
That game.
games where you have two very different
very
characters.
different
Yeah,
characters.
because even in like something like Contra, you're just different.
You're
colors.
just different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although in the box art, they're very different because
Yeah.
one's Stallone and one's.
I'm just having a
Schwarzenegger.
moment of realization here, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I can tell you this.
Blow your
I
mind?
definitely,
Yeah.
I definitely had problems playing Contra, forgetting who I was.
Yeah.
You know, losing track of where I was. You know, playing Contra co-op. So yeah.
That's what you do in that game.
So
You
yeah,
just die.
clearly this game is tapping into some pretty serious nostalgia for
Yeah.
folks.
And I mean, this has been an awesome year for 2D platformers as well with Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment.
Yeah.
And they're very different games too. And I mean, I encourage people who like 2D platformers to go play both of them because they're
Yeah.
both awesome.
Yeah.
and this one, Cuphead, is a Canadian
It is true, right here in Toronto.
produced. Yeah.
That's
Platformer,
awesome.
so it's like really, really cool. You know, I had the chance at an Xbox event to talk to one of the brothers, and like they're really, really cool. They really put a lot of passion into it, and I think in 2010 that's when the idea of Cuphead really came to.
Yeah.
So they've been working on it for a really long time.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that's been talked about in development for a while.
Yeah, it's. I
Yeah.
think it's a classic for Xbox.
Yeah, and I was a little worried when they announced the platforming levels because I was like, especially because it'd been so close to launch. And anytime someone tries to shoehorn those into a game, it doesn't always turn out well. So I was a little worried about that, but after playing them, I was worried for no reason. 'Cause
Yeah.
they did a great job.
So speaking of platform,
Segue.
there you go.
Great
Camille,
segue.
what are you playing this on?
So I am playing it on like Cuphead.
Yeah.
Is an Xbox exclusive.
I play on PC though.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, because it's got the Windows 10
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Ryan has had the benefit of trying to play this game with different controllers.
Yeah, so you play with your traditional Xbox controller, right? I play with the PS4 controller on PC.
Oh,
'Cause
so
I'm like,
how do you find the experience then?
well, it's fine. I just play with that controller because I prefer the D-pad on it than the Xbox one.
Ryan is a D-pad snub.
I am a D-pad snob for sure. I actually considered hooking up with an SNES controller, but the problem is there's too many buttons for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
not
yeah.
enough
You wouldn't
shoulder
be able
buttons.
to do.
It'd be tougher to do
Everything.
the dashes and stuff like that. So, I mean, again, because whenever a game collection like Mega Man Legacy Collection stuff comes out or Disney Afternoon Collection, I play those on PS4 simply because of the D-pad. Because I'm a D-pad snob.
Oh, speaking of dashes, you just reminded me with that game. You know how you could go to the Pork Rinds store
Yeah.
and buy different like equipment or different types of shooters. That smoke screen dash, it's so good. But then it sometimes messes you up because I've been playing a lot in co-op.
Yeah.
So like I lose track really quickly.
Oh, man.
No, you have to measure the
You have
distance
to measure
too,
the
because if you
difference.
don't, you'll just spawn on top of someone.
Yeah, like
and
you have to
feel
make a
bad.
smart decision on what you're purchasing from that store.
Yeah.
For the next level.
And the nice thing is, if you purchase something by mistake, you can just
Yeah, and
switch
you
out
keep
with something
it,
else.
yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
Ah, so good.
You playing anything else besides Cuphead this week, or is that pretty much done?
SNES Classic.
Yeah,
I've been playing.
we have to talk about this. This little guy right here. If you're
It's
watching the
so
video, we've got
cute.
it on the set here.
Yeah, and I lined up.
May I?
Oh, you may.
I have not touched it. Ooh. Oh, it feels good. The eject button doesn't go down.
No,
No,
because you don't
you
need
can't.
an
You
eject.
can't.
You don't put
I
it.
can't put a cartridge in it?
No.
No.
How does this work?
It's
Now-
preloaded.
Now,
I thought this was just they had developed shrinking ray technology,
Oh.
but that's not what you're telling me here.
What?
This is
No.
a different thing.
the shrink ray can only replicate so many things. Too.
Oh, well,
That's what happened.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
And then of course this is where the controllers go in the front here. So like it looks like the classic controller port thing, but it flips down and has like the Wii nunchuck controller port thingy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the
And that
That's
the
actually
sliding
works.
buttons feel perfect.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
feel
and the reset button-
exactly
The reset
the
button
same.
takes you back to the menu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah. So you've been playing the SNES Classic and enjoying games like Contra. I guess.
Contra, yeah. I've been playing Contra. I was playing Star Fox because I was really curious to get my hands on Star Fox 2.
Yeah, because you have to play the first level in order to unlock it, right?
Yeah, but you know, I just can't play the first level of
Yeah,
Star
we-
Fox.
That
so-
game is also really hard to play because
It's
it
so
runs at
hard.
10 frames a second now.
Yeah, and it's well, and that's the thing. You're like shooting, and you're like, why hasn't my laser like shot out yet? Like you have that delay. So
Where it goes, but you're just like, where the fuck is this going? Where is it? I don't even see my laser. So,
exactly. But it's really good. And of course, I started my Final Fantasy 3 file and Mario RPG. So
You're
Nice.
doing it right. You're doing the
Yeah.
right thing there.
I am doing it right.
Did you actually? Did you have an SNES as a kid, or is this?
Oh yeah, and
like-
I still have my SNES.
Oh, okay, excellent.
I think a lot of the misconception is people are getting it because they no longer have their SNES.
Yeah.
but I have mine, and the only reason I got it was because I don't have all the games, so I don't have Final Fantasy 3, and obviously Star Fox 2.
Yeah, exactly. No, I feel the same way because I also have an SNES with a ton of games, but
in working condition, right?
In working condition. I just don't have a physical copy of Earthbound or Final Fantasy 3 or Secret of Mana, all of which are super expensive cartridges.
Yeah, those are the cartridges that the infamous memory shortage of the 90s, cartridges were like, some of those cartridges were going for $100 Canadian back in the day.
And now they
go for like, they're like, I think some of them are 80.
Yeah, but even something like Earthbound is like $300 if you want a physical version.
Yeah, because Earthbound they didn't make very many copies of.
Yeah, and it's a game that's in high demand because people like that game.
Yeah.
It was a game that like wasn't popular at the time, but has like this huge cult following now. So yeah, and
that was the main reason I got mine because, and all of that, I had never played Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I'd played the original and the arcade version, but never actually the Super Nintendo version, or even Contra 3 I hadn't played either. So it's kind of cool to actually be able to have these games on a collection that is very easy to hook up to your TV. Plays great. It's just annoying because you still have to sort of keep the system with you. I kind of wish...
In order to hit reset?
Yeah, because I wish just like my Retron 5... that there was a key button, key combination you could put in to go back to the menu.
Hold down, start, and select for 3 seconds or something.
Or not even start, select, but even like down and select, because you never use that combination ever. In any game.
It's only if you want to restart, then you do your right, left, and then the start and select. But you only start that game up again.
Okay.
It doesn't take you to the main menu.
Right. And what's kind of cool, though, is that if you actually have a Wii Classic controller from the Wii, speaking of the Wii, of course, we talked about it a while ago, is if you plug it in, press the home button, it actually works. It just goes back to the menu.
Yeah. And I actually think I prefer that. I don't know why. For me, the SNES Classic controllers, it seems more gritty. Like it seems a bit cheaper than the actual real controllers, and I can't play with it because it just ruins my memory.
They're also just a bit smaller too.
Yeah, they're a bit smaller. So
is this because these ones just don't have like years of polishing them with your thumbs and from?
I know Mortal Kombat testing my might.
Yeah. Oh god, that's awful.
Get the spoons out.
Yeah.
Oh, and spoons.
Spoons.
What?
You don't know the high level spoon strats?
No.
Any game that required like for you to like rapidly press 2 buttons. When I was a kid, this was you get a spoon and you rub the spoon up against the 2 buttons really, really, really fast, and that's how you could cheese the button pressing.
Oh my gosh! You know how many blisters I had on my thumb as a kid because I was testing my might like over and over again.
It really tested.
Well, now you know the spoon trick.
Yeah.
So
now I know.
Get hype.
Yeah, I have a dedicated video gaming spoon.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just for playing video games.
Just for.
Yeah.
Does it have a name?
No, it's just a spoon.
Okay.
I mean,
you don't want to name it because
it's got weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's really just because you guys weren't using the arcade controller for the Sega Genesis. That's why.
Yeah, with the or like one with like rapid fire mode on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I loved it when they got smart about that, and then you turn on rapid fire mode, and the game would tell you, "Hey, F you, you're using rapid fire mode."
To be fair, you couldn't play Mortal Kombat or Eternal Champions without the arcade controller on the Sega Genesis because it had 6 buttons on it.
Right.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
You had to.
You had to. Yeah. That's true.
It also is the better of the 2 controllers between that and the original Genesis controller.
Oh, the original
Genesis.
Sega? Yeah.
The D-pad on it is terrible.
It was like, and it was huge. Like,
yeah. I still have one in my drawer, and I'm like, I'm never going to use this again. I'm just going to use my arcade one.
Yeah, you thought the Duke was big, yeah. Well,
the Duke is way bigger.
The Duke is way bigger.
I can't wait for that to come back.
I don't know. It just feels like your hands are too far apart with that old Genesis
and
controller.
it's just like your hands are weirdly on this up angle.
Yeah, because it has this weird like round shape on it.
It's one of those things where like remember was it the PS3 boomerang controller? People were like, that's not a good idea. It felt like some designer designed it first and went, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Let's just make it.
Yeah, let's not test it out.
Yeah, nobody went like, yeah, but it feels weird. Like, no, but it looks cool.
It looks like a boomerang. You could probably chuck it and come back to you.
So we don't have the controllers. Ryan's controllers are over there on this table. How do the controllers feel for the SNES Classic Mini? Do they feel like the right weight? Because there are some like knockoff ones that are out there that you get that have like Bluetooth in them and stuff, but they feel way too light. It feels weird.
I think this one's a bit light.
Yeah. I mean, the buttons feel okay. The D-pad is sort of the cheap feel. It has a bit of a cheap feel to it.
And also the Super Nintendo print, it looks very cheaply printed on the controller, not the mini,
the console,
but on the controller, which is so weird.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
It's really weird, but I love it.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. Yeah.
It is pretty awesome.
The Super Nintendo is hands down my favorite console of all time. Like, I mean, if anyone says like looking back in the past, which console do you love the most? Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Easy.
I mean, they came up with the color scheme for this podcast.
They did. Yeah, the purple from the Super Nintendo is the purple on our website.
Yeah. So, do you think that we'll ever see a PlayStation Mini or?
No.
I
think it'll be tougher to do because even though they were on CDs, which are small by today's standards, it's going to be tough to cram that into a small device.
Yeah.
And
that amount of space.
And like the iconic games like Tomb Raider, I don't think that all, like if you have all the Tomb Raider collection on there, I don't know if it'd all fit.
Yeah, not only that, but I don't think those games hold up as well as SNES games now.
Yeah.
Like, again, so many indie games are chasing SNES and NES games because those games
still
really...
hold up, yeah.
Except for Star Fox. Because I don't think... Because, again, early polygonal games just don't hold up as well.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
I love Star Fox, but everybody saying this is like, it just doesn't hold
like
up.
the gameplay in Star Fox is cool because it's on rails and the shooting controls somehow work. It's just that it runs so slowly.
It hurts your eyes.
And
your eyes
everyone's
burn.
very similar colors, especially when you're on the first planet.
Well, like I'm trying to save, of course, everyone knows Slippy because Slippy just keeps...
Your boy.
They're on my 6.
They're on my 6.
Or should I say, yep.
But yeah, I shot Slippy down.
Good.
And I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm
You
happy
monster.
about it. I'm happy about it.
He's not going to ask you for any more favors.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Sleepy.
But you ruined the canon for Star Fox.
Yeah. Slippy's dead.
Because that Star Fox Zero campaign where you play Slippy's uncle, it's now not going to happen.
No.
Because of you.
No, of course not.
I'm just now imagining that there's like a branch in the Star Fox universe with like an alternate reality called the Camille verse where Slippy is dead and they replace him with actually someone who's good, and then like the games are just really easy and like only 5 minutes.
Wolf joins.
I'm pretty sure everyone would be really happy if Slippy was not involved in the crew because like Slippy just keeps getting in the way of everything, needing your help. Like, come on, Slippy, get your ish together.
Yeah, like. How sad is that to know? Like, can you imagine a moment where Slippy met his maker and he'd be like, "Why did you make me so flawed? Why did you make me the fuck up?"
Someone please ask Nintendo why the hell they made Slippy like that.
Because someone needed to be there.
Someone needed to
saved.
take the flaw. Yeah.
Hey, at least he's not a princess.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd put a crown on Slippy. Slippy acts like a princess. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I mean, yeah, but he's still a toad.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Waiting to be turned into a princess.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty telling that in that video game, the most incompetent character is a male character. There's a female character,
that is
and
true.
She's way better than him. So.
That is true.
That's true.
That is true.
Cool.
Yeah, let's hear what Feminist Frequency has to say about that.
And even going back,
Too soon, man.
but even going back to like some of the games on there, I was playing Final Fantasy 3, and I'm just like, wow, Final Fantasy was really ahead of its time. Like the whole opening,
The
opening credits, and it's just like a movie, and you're just like, oh my god, like this is so ahead. And even Star Fox, like just the dynamics, although it may not hold up as well now, like just having a look back and seeing what was really ahead of its time.
Like the presentation elements to those games for sure.
Especially because Star Fox 2 was supposed to come out when the N64 is out.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
So. All right. Yeah. Well, let's move on because it's almost an hour into the show. I just noticed the time it is.
And we didn't
So
cover
that's what you've been
everything.
playing. Real quick before we move on to the news wrap up, I've also been playing Fortnite Battle Royale this week. A lot because it's really fun. I'm actually surprised because Fortnite was not a game I was really interested in. But when they announced Battle Royale and it was free, I thought, okay, I'll try this. And then like 10 hours passed and I was like, oh shit, I need to stop playing this game. It's really fun. And again, it's so much like player unknown Battlegrounds, which is a game I hadn't tried yet. And I can understand why people like that
PUBG,
genre. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about that more later because we got some other stuff to talk about. So first news story of the week, Drew is so excited about this one.
Yeah.
So excited about this one.
I sure am.
Final Fantasy 14 has a patch called...
Are you going to read patch notes again?
No, I'm going to tell you when it comes out.
We talked about this.
So the patch finally got a release date. It's coming on October 10th. Thank God it includes the new Return to Ivalice raid and a bunch of other stuff. It's really cool because they released a story trailer for that raid and shows how it sort of is going to have the two main characters from Final Fantasy Tactics in it. They had some of the music from Final Fantasy Tactics in that trailer. I'm like, I'm so hyped for this.
Right.
Yeah.
You're only allowed to talk about this one more time, and that's when it comes out. You know that, right?
Yeah. Okay. I can do that. I'm carving out some time to play this though. Because even though Shadow of War comes out the same day.
Yeah.
I'm still.
You have harsh. Oh, really? I was about to say you have like some tough decisions to make.
Oh, I'm gonna make time for both.
Okay.
It's happening. It's
all
just
right. Okay.
Yeah, I need to do this week because it looks so cool. Next up, Red Hook Studios has announced via Twitter that Darkest Dungeon is coming to Nintendo Switch. No details or release date were announced at all, but we do know it's coming. They showed like an off-screen video of them playing the game on the Switch. Did either of you guys play Darkest Dungeon at all?
I did. I played on the PC.
No, I have not.
This would be a solid game for the Switch.
So it's basically a roguelike RPG, like a 2D turn-based RPG where you have a party of 4 that goes into the dungeon, and the more and more you go through battles, it deteriorates your party's morality. Sorry,
oh, really?
Where you basically have to go back to town, and each party member is randomly generated, and depending on what their sort of what their form of stress relief is, you have to sort of accommodate that. Yeah. So some people, one of your party members likes to get drunk to release stress. So you have to have them go to the bar and get drunk, and another one likes strippers.
Yeah.
So they have to go see strippers.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So they don't go insane or into a murderous rage or whatever.
Which happens. Like if like they get hurt too much, for example, they'll go into a panic state and then start attacking your characters and stuff.
So too much dungeon makes party goers go crazy.
Go crazy.
Yeah,
something.
It's actually a really cool concept for a game, and it's a lot of fun.
It is
a really cool concept. Yeah.
You really have to baby your characters and your dungeon divers and make sure that they don't go nuts on you.
And the game's available on like PS4 and PC, so it's pretty much on everything under the sun except for the Switch. So it's a cool game to play on.
Yeah, it's got a whole like H.P. Lovecraft vibe to it.
Yeah,
that's like the whole thing. Is like the whole idea is like seeing these horrors in this dungeon like basically slowly drive them insane unless they get to go get drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is kind of like it's just that's like life.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's
just going through life day to day. That's why bars are so popular.
Yeah,
and you end up with completely random party members, just like any good roguelike.
Absolutely,
exactly. Yeah.
All right, next news story. Sony has announced that Gravity Rush 2's online functionality will be turned off on January 18th, 1 year after the game's launch.
That's really soon.
The following features will be affected by the shutdown: sending and receive challenges, ranked leaderboards, sending and receiving treasure hints, sending and receiving and reviewing photo ghosts, and acquiring dusty tokens and their rewards.
Not my photo ghosts.
Yeah.
Or my dusty tokens.
Part of me just is real sad about this because I can't believe that a year after a game comes out, you just shut off like a whole bunch of functionality for the game. It's really weird.
Too soon.
Yeah, especially because like I haven't played Gravity Rush 2 yet, and it's a game I know Brock really liked it because he played it earlier this year.
Yeah, I remember him talking about that.
Yeah, so I'm kind of bummed about that, but you know, I wonder how well it's sold because I wonder if maybe it's just because it cost them too much to keep the servers on.
I don't think you have to wonder, Ryan. I think the answer is not very well because they're shutting off the multiplayer a year later. Yeah. I mean, we can look at the numbers, but I mean, this certainly does not bode well.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be racing out to make a Gravity Rush 3.
Yeah. At least it sounds like a lot of those features, a lot of the single player will still be there, though, for you to play. So it's not like Destiny shutting off, for example, where you would just lose everything.
Yeah. Destiny, you literally can't play the game unless you're connected. So
yeah. Exactly.
Which at times can be quite frustrating. Especially when you get the old weasel area.
Speaking of frustrating, segue, our next news story is just timely with the SNES Classic coming out this week. So Retro Games Limited has announced the C64 Mini. It is a console contained within a keyboard that is basically a mini Commodore 64.
Can we not make this a thing? Can we just like if everybody just makes a console mini, like it's gonna cheapen everything.
Yeah.
Let's be real. And especially when especially like the Commodore 64, you got to know that some like weirdo holding company has the rights to this. This isn't like someone who's like, I feel a huge passion for Commodore 64 games because that person doesn't exist.
Maybe Retro Games Limited does. You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure Retro Games Limited has equal numbers of shares in tobacco companies as they do licensing for like, this is a shrewd and calculated move, and I think it's gross.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like we're going to be seeing that a lot. Well, remember they came out with that Sega
The
Mini?
Sega flashback and the Atari flashback.
And that was horrible because I think the Sega used wireless controls and there was issues with the sensor in the controllers.
Yeah.
So
They use like weird IR sensors in those and not like anything that is, working essentially.
Yeah.
Plus, would it be horrible of me to say I kind of like the fact that Nintendo originally said it was going to be limited edition?
Yeah. No, I
it's
think
not
that's
horrible.
perfectly reasonable. Yeah. Let's be real. Like, I mean, this thing is cool, but really, it's a novelty, right? And just like let's look at fidget spinners.
Oh God, do we have to?
The reality is that like novelties live and die based on saturation and nothing else. So like if there's just a million of these things everywhere and you can't trust quality, then then there's no point. Like that you can trust quality from Nintendo. That's they have a seal for it.
Yeah, like I want to see though if this thing's going to turn color.
Oh yeah, will it turn yellow?
No, they already said it wouldn't.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, they've
sorry.
improved the plastic technology since the 1980s and 90s.
They already came out and said this is never changing color.
I'm pretty sure the plastic was like very toxic. Like
Yeah.
that's why it turned color, but I still
Probably.
loved it.
Yeah. It's just apparently there's some new UV protective additive that was invented like since like the mid 90s, and that's the thing that does it. Like, the reason why it turned yellow is just that ultraviolet light from the sun
Was damaging it.
Yeah, and it would change the color of the console. But now these days they add special like UV blockers to plastic. And my dad worked in plastics.
Oh, okay. I'm like, you're very knowledgeable on
So
this.
you know a lot about plastic.
Yeah, I do. Thanks, Dad.
So based on your rating and knowledge of plastic, what would you rate this plastic on the
Let me
classic?
feel this.
Yeah.
This is HEPE.
So Drew's
Yeah.
rating this plastic on the Mini.
Yeah.
It's happening.
I know you guys been waiting for this.
Confirmed plastic.
But the quality?
It gets a plastic out of plastic.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, so it's not like the Game Moves rating score where there's no percentage. It's just plastic out of plastic.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a pass fail. Either it's plastic or it's not. Is it plastic? It's plastic.
It's plastic and it holds
Confirmed
up.
plastic.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, it does. It feels good. Like it's got weight to it and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And you can tell that that's largely in the shell because you got to know that this whatever's in here is basically a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
Like some custom
Or something similar.
Yeah, it's something like this big, the size of a walnut. But you can feel that they put some effort into making sure that it's the right proportions, and it feels good. It feels like if I drop this, it's not going to shatter into a million pieces.
Not
Yeah.
yet.
Well,
Please don't
I'm
test that.
pretty sure you'll find a video on YouTube with
Yeah.
that test, or we just create one right now.
Hey, Ryan, we're up here pretty high.
It's
How
only
many-
your SNES classic.
Yeah, how many?
That's true.
How many
It
stories
is only
can
mine.
survive?
I can always just go find another one.
Yeah,
They're not limited at all.
They're not.
Yeah.
Well, they said that they're going to be coming out with more around the holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's gonna
How
be
much
another
or
shipment.
when they
Yeah.
didn't say, but
And that will really tell like what their promise is like they said the same thing with like the Switch. Or like, oh yeah, we know that there's there's a high demand for them, so we're gonna like ramp up production. You still have to you still have to push your mother over in line to get one.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you could definitely tell that there were more of them because, I mean, you said you were like 90th in line or something.
98.
Unlike the NES Classic where each store had like 10 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
But you know what? Maybe they are doing it where they're still trying to make it an exclusive product, which that's what they explained. But they're just going to ramp up the amount that's there. But hopefully, it's not something where it's going to be available in the stores all the time.
I also feel like they learned their lesson from the Animal Crossing amiibo, where people would just buy up amiibo in droves, so they made way too many Animal Crossing amiibo, and now they can't sell them because Animal Crossing, surprisingly, not as popular with characters as Smash Brothers characters.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to have to look at Tom Nook's face when they don't have to.
I
But
know.
the one,
'Cause I get a panic attack every time that guy shows up.
but Drew, the one Animal Crossing amiibo I have is Tom Nook.
Oh, he wants my money.
And he's staring right
Oh.
at you.
Yeah,
He's gonna foreclose on me.
he's just behind Sonic. He's just hanging out.
No. Anyway, so I don't want this to be a thing. I don't want every company that has a license for something to just jam these out. Like the last thing we need is the Atari Jaguar Classic.
Oh no, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
I want to play Alien vs Predator again on it.
Yeah, but
That was actually
wouldn't
good
you
game.
prefer to just buy, like, try to find one and, like, have that novelty of having, like, the original?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I guess the one benefit of all this stuff is that that TV technology has changed enough that that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
You know,
that is true.
even us fancy TV technicians are like, that sounds like too much work.
That
Yeah.
does sound like a lot
Yeah,
of work.
it is.
Yeah.
But with the SNES Classic, you could actually put the CRT filter on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool.
If that's your thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, definitely not. I put on Perfect Pixel or
'Cause
Pixel
that's the
Perfect.
best mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right way to play.
That is the right way to play it.
I'm just glad there's no like smoother on this. There's no like pixel smoother to make it like try to make it look better. No,
Yeah.
No.
The pixels are important. You have to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Cool. All right. Last news story this week. And this is actually kind of a cool one. Have you ever wanted to explore ancient Egypt? Well, Assassin's Creed Origins is going to allow you to do just that. So they're adding a new mode called Discovery Tour by Assassin's Creed Ancient Egypt to the game. The mode will allow you to visit all of the game's historical locations with combat and time restraints removed. Each historical site will provide in-game educational writings similar to visiting a museum. So if you go to like some tombs, it'll tell you all about who's buried here and how the mummification process works and stuff.
Yeah.
They took your brain out with a hook.
Spoilers.
They did it 6,000 years ago.
I know. I went to the museum. I learned at a young age, and then was like, "Oh God, I don't like
Canopic
Egypt."
jars, not good.
I was always like, "Yeah, Egypt's a really cool place to live." No.
It was like, oh, what are those really
They
neat
take your
jars with
brains.
like the cool animal heads on it? It was like, oh, it's got their guts in it.
Yeah,
Oh.
got their guts or like bury their animals and servants with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Alive.
And so this is coming as a free update sometime next year, which is kind of cool. So I'm excited to see them at least take this angle because, yeah, it's kind of cool to sort of learn all about the history of everything that happens.
This is interesting.
Because they've always had cool historical locations. So
Yeah.
Well, they were I feel like they've been very accurate, like the Assassin's Creed franchise, on their history. And one of my favorite things is like actually reading the whole stories and logs that you get that tell you about, like, give you a background. So having like a guided tour,
Yeah.
or a virtual tour of it it's like
It seems cool.
It's cooler. So like when someone walks in the room, they're not just like, oh, you're reading just the screen. It seems like you're going through an adventure.
Yeah.
I'm a big history nerd. I love that stuff. And one of the coolest experiences playing Assassin's Creed 2 was like I went to Florence when I was like a teenager and spent a lot of time there. And I was like, wait a minute, I've been there and I've been there. Like because those cities, the
Still there, yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of that stuff is still there. And it's really, really cool. So I think this is neat. This would be fun.
Yeah.
Why not?
It gives it a different element to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe Ubisoft will just eventually completely transition it into educational software for kids.
No.
Yes, it's happening.
No.
That's what they need to do now.
Math assassin.
Imagine, yeah, or imagine like South Park, the educational.
No, all you got to do is reading Rabbit, except with the rabbits.
Reading rabbits, yeah. That's
Reading
good.
Reading rabbits.
Cartman teaches typing, and it's
Yeah.
just the F word. It's still like dirty words.
Oh man.
Oh, it's so good.
CK.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was that episode of South Park with the guy?
Oh,
Was
the
that
World
the
of
World of
Warcraft.
Warcraft?
one?
Yeah, he teaches typing.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That would be pretty sweet, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it was World of Warcraft themed typing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the best.
Yeah.
I'm
So
actually
glad.
looking forward to both games
Yeah.
this month, right?
Yeah, I can't believe it. Like, again, South Park's the 17th, and
Yeah.
then Assassin's Creed is like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
On the 28th, I think. It's
I
the
am
same
not-
day as Mario Odyssey.
I am
For
not-
fuck's sake. And,
What are we
and Wolfenstein.
If you're wondering where the people have gone in October, they're all in their houses playing games.
Yeah. Well,
Lots
everyone-
of great titles.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my Switch to the park and play Wolfenstein there.
Well, at least
Oh.
November's not as bad this year as
Yeah.
it used to be.
Well, yeah, I
And
feel like
October's-
October, you kind of like
Yeah.
play, and then the stuff that you couldn't get to, you could play that out in November.
Yeah. And of course, Bethesda is just like, oh, we'll release Evil Within the same day as South Park, and then
Yeah.
Wolfenstein the same day as Mario.
Yeah,
That'd be
just
great.
because.
It's counter programming, man. You gotta
Why
do it.
not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crush the opposition.
All right. So let's jam through these new releases so we can get out of here. So, what's coming out this week? Well, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen coming to PS4 and Xbox One this week. It's pretty cool. It's an action RPG. Most people missed it on last-gen consoles.
Yes.
Next up, Forza Motorsport 7 actually came out on Friday if you have the Ultimate Edition, but the real game comes out on Tuesday as well. So, if you have the normal version, that's cool. It also has Fast and the Furious DLC.
Yes,
which is
it
great.
does. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Can
With
I?
the song.
Yeah.
It's been a long way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I?
Get hyped.
You're like, I have no idea what song that is.
No, I remember it.
Okay, yeah, that
Yeah.
song. You need that song when you're driving on the road.
But can I play as the kid from Tokyo Drift? How does that work?
It's Fate of the Furious DLC.
Oh.
Oh man, because
So no
actually
Han?
having
No Han?
no Han, no
Let's be
Hulk
real,
car.
He's the only character worth a damn in that series.
Yeah.
Han, yeah.
Han's the coolest fucking
Han is
dude.
pretty cool.
They introduced him in Tokyo. That's why Tokyo Drift is the best.
Except
because
it's the worst.
It's the movie. It's a tragedy, and it's about Han. So,
But they'll have a whole level dedicated just to drifting.
yeah.
Well, they also had Fast and Furious DLC for Forza Horizon 2,
Yeah.
which was free DLC when the movie came out, and now you have to pay for it. Also, easiest 1,000 achievement points ever.
Nice.
If you're entering that Xbox contest, Xbox Canada currently is holding a contest to increase your gamer score the most.
Yeah.
Go play that DLC because it's an easy 2-hour 1,000 achievement points.
You too
Yeah.
could win an Xbox One X by cheesing achievement points.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Go get was it Avatar: The Last Airbender?
All the Telltale games.
All the
Yeah.
Telltale games,
Yeah.
yes.
Let's make it happen.
Mega Man Legacy Collection, all you have to do is beat all 6 Mega Man games and then 100 brutally challenging challenges.
Yeah. Or
It's fine.
or you could jump off a bridge into a river.
Yeah.
You could do that too.
One of those things is more pleasurable experience. Yeah.
All right then. All right, next up, A Hat in Time out this week.
Oh, okay.
It's about a hat that travels through time.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Enough said.
Get hyped. Next up, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga Bowser's Minions is out this week. I haven't really played the Mario and Luigi games.
I haven't played it since what was the one with the beans in it?
Is it when they're babies?
No. It was the one even before that. Not Inside Story.
There was, I think, well,
I can't even remember what it was. I think it was like I think it was the first Mario and Luigi one that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That was really fun. It was really cool. But yeah.
they're sort of carrying the torch for the Mario RPG.
Yeah.
So, okay, I like Mario and Luigi. I just don't know if I like them together. I think it's a bit of an abusive relationship.
Oh.
Everyone's just focusing on Mario, but what
Yeah.
about Luigi?
Yeah, exactly.
Can you tell I'm a second sibling? Like,
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
a sibling?
totally.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, and I'm the younger one, so I always had to play as Luigi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all babies here,
Yeah.
and we all feel for Luigi.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
It ain't
come on.
right.
He's the best.
Because like Mario's the golden child for sure.
Yeah.
You know, he gets all the attention.
And poor
Yeah.
Luigi gets is being exploited because he's afraid of ghosts.
He also
Like,
has
what
to be
is that?
played by
Yeah.
John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
It's just so
And
terrible.
let's be real, like Mario doesn't even have to have a job anymore, and people think he's cool.
That's true. He's not
All he
Obama
did, all
anymore.
he needs is nips.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, God.
What about Luigi's nips? I want
Yeah.
to see Luigi's nips. Okay,
I bet you they're better.
free Luigi's nips.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hashtag that needs to get going.
I mean, you know.
I mean, we could
he's
get-
probably got some classier chest hair too.
We were able to get Bubsy verified, so we can probably get that hashtag going.
Yeah, free
great.
hashtag free
Free
Luigi's nips.
Yeah.
It happened here today.
Yeah.
Remember.
I'm glad you're settling. You're now officially one of us.
Yeah.
And last thing coming out this week, Batman: The Enemy Within episode 2. I did mention it last week, but it got delayed a week, so it's actually came out this week.
That's weird.
And I really liked the first episode, so go play it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so that is our show this week.
Yes, it is.
So, before we go, True Plugs go.
I'm at D McMillan on Twitter, so you can read my ridiculous tweets.
They are quite ridiculous lately.
Let me apologize in advance for anything offensive or horrible I may say on Twitter, which is usually what I'm doing. Also, there's a website that you can go to. I don't know if you've heard this, Ryan. It's www.game-moose.com, where there are reviews and things. Right now, you just put a review up very recently.
I did. Danganronpa V3.
Yeah.
And you have to say exactly like that.
Of course.
Yeah.
I could say it the proper way and say Danganronpa V3, but
Yeah.
Danganronpa V3.
So
Killing Harmony.
that's out there. Yeah, and we got some more stuff coming up. We've got an exciting event that we're going to tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
And
talk
so
about
we'll
at some
have
point.
we'll have a video live of that shortly.
I'll have to crash it then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Just like you did last time.
Yeah, like I did last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, expect a video about something in which we high five Camille. So,
Yeah. You'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
we can't do the high five
No.
here.
We don't
You'll
wanna
have
do
to-
it now.
You'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go back to the website and check
Yeah,
that out.
things are happening.
Things are happening.
Yeah,
Moving and shaking.
of course, you can also see our videos at game-moose.com/videos.
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Or
that's
video.
all videos.
I don't know,
It's
man.
plural.
I'm glad I know our
We should
website
remember
so
the
well.
URLs. Yeah.
We're so new at plugging things.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Also, Extra Life. Stay tuned for more. We'll have a donation page up soon.
Yeah, we'll talk
and-
about that for sure next week. We have everything pretty much in the pipe now.
Yep.
It's happening.
We're
It's
ready to
official.
go.
thing.
We have a date. We're going to raise money for kids and play video games and just...
Yeah. I should have a schedule up next week of what we're going to play.
A schedule.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, schedule.
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 Yeah.
Schedule.
Schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to post it as schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but then the
That's the
SEO
song.
will just break and Google won't hate us.
Yeah.
All right, and Camille, where can people find you?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I'm everywhere. No, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at This Is Camco.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Fun fact: my mom gave me that nickname, Camco.
Oh,
So
there
she
you go.
inspired my gamer tag. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, you do some other stuff. Do you have anything you want to plug, or
Oh yeah.
please plug yourself?
Noobs unplugging.
We're throwing some free publicity your way.
We're trying to help you out here.
So yeah, I'm a social media host for Northern Arena. So Northern Arena is a Canadian esports league, and we just had our Street Fighter V knockout tournament where we had competitors, like pro players, go up against some local competitors.
Okay.
So it was a really great tournament. You guys could test that out. Touch that.
Check it out.
Thank you. You can check that out. Twitch.tv/Northern Arena.
Cool.
And I'm pretty sure we have some cool things coming on for that one for fans out there of games, lots of competitive games. I can't say.
would
I'm
hope
sorry.
so.
I can't say.
No,
But
it's okay. You can say games.
You could
For
check
things that may or may not be
may or
embargoed.
may not be happening, but you could check them out, northernarena.ca, and on Facebook, Northern Arena Esports.
Perfect.
Yeah.
As for me, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Turford. That's TURFORD. Again, I put up my Danganronpa review this week. I also put up an unboxing of the SNES Classic here.
Yes,
so
you did. I watched
want to
that.
see me unbox this thing?
He took it out of the
Look
box.
at the cables.
That's how
It's
it
great.
works.
Yeah.
Oh, we should be pixelating this. You
This-
can't see it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got to watch the unboxing.
that's so much work for me to do in post.
Oh. Okay, I'll just keep my hand here for the rest of
You know
it.
what? This is the only place where the only place where you can see the sweet poster that came with that is
Yeah.
if you watch Ryan's unboxing.
That is
Yes.
100%
and it
true.
comes with a
Because it's in the corner somewhere.
an
in my
awesome
phone.
Yeah.
vintage poster. I
Yeah.
like it a lot.
It's really sweet. So
Yeah.
go,
It is really good.
Go check that out. Again, I also want to do some content around the SNES Classic as well. So we'll talk about that later. All right. So for Drew McMillan and Camille, I'm Ryan Turford. This has been episode 96 of the Game Moves podcast, and we're out.